Hello, everyone. Happy Black History Month, as always. Hope everyone is, doing black stuff. Whatever you want to do. Of course, we're talking about Aaliyah today, so she is right here. You can't see the bottom of the shirt, but it does have her name on it. I got the sweatshirt for Christmas. It might be, maybe from Amazon. Don't quote me from that. I didn't buy it myself. But yeah, it's a very nice sweatshirt. It's very comfortable. I'm going to try to keep the strings outside of her face so we could see her in the video about her. So this week I decided to do another discography review. I'm trying to remember what the last one was. Oh, it was a couple weeks ago with Bjork. So I'm going to give very little. I might skim around this because I just copied and pasted from Wikipedia. But I'm going to give a little bit of biography on Aaliyah, which technically her name is pronounced Aaliyah, but nobody pronounces it that way. Just like Rihanna's supposed to be Rihanna. I feel like somebody else's name we've been saying wrong, but I cannot remember the artists. I can't remember if they're a black artist or not. But those are the black artists. But anyway, everybody calls her Aaliyah. She was born January 16th, 1979. She passed away August 25th, 2001. She was only 22 years old. So, she was an American singer and actress. She's been credited with helping redefine contemporary R&B, pop, and hip-hop, earning her the nickname Princess of R&B and Queen of Urban Pop. I think that was the Lifetime movie that was made for her. There was a biopic, of Aaliyah. I think it was called Princess of R&B. I've looked this up like several times this week, and I cannot remember. But apparently it's not even good, so I don't know. Okay, she was born in Brooklyn, but she was raised in Detroit. She first gained recognition at the age of 10. Woo, young. When she appeared on the television show Star Search and performed in concert alongside Gladys Knight, who... Let me see if they're going to mention it. Okay. Gladys Knight was married to her uncle, Barry Hankerson. So that's how she knew Gladys Knight. At the age of 12, Aaliyah signed with Drive Records and her uncle Barry Hankerson's Blackground Records, which he just... I guess, I don't know if it makes sense to say reopen. Because I think the original one, I guess, I don't know, shut down is the right word. I don't know how you describe when you end, like, a music label. But basically, he ended it, and now I think it's, like, Blackground 2.0. Which now he's going to make, which I've already ranted about this, like, a year or two ago. They want to make another album with her. And they had a single with The Weeknd, someone who she never met. I'm not going to go back into that rant, but that video is somewhere in my, shorts. Because I'm pretty sure I probably uploaded it here. Or if it's over, a minute, it might be in my regular videos. But I'm pretty sure it was, only 60 seconds. But, yeah, I don't like that. That's the gist of that. Because you're going to put her on an album with a bunch of people she never met, just like they did with Pop Smoke. And I'm not sure to the extent they did it with Juice WRLD, though. But I know for sure, people were talking about Pop Smoke after he passed away, he didn't know any of these people. So, yeah, I don't like that idea. Let's get back to it. Hankerson introduced her to R. Kelly, who became her mentor, as well as lead songwriter and producer of her debut album, Agent None But a Number, which of course I want to talk about. The album sold 3 million copies in the United States. It was certified double platinum. After allegations of an illegal marriage with Kelly, Aaliyah ended her contract with Jive and signed to Atlantic Records. What's that whole story? I think I'm going to talk about it in some of my reviews. Crazy. She worked with producers Timbaland and Missy Elliott for a second album, One in a Million. It also sold 3 million copies and more than 8 million copies worldwide. She made her acting debut in the year 2000. In a film, and her acting debut in the film Romeo Must Die, was looking at two sentences at once. That's why I can't talk. She contributed to the film soundtrack, which supported her single "Try Again." The song topped the Billboard 100 solely through airplay, becoming the first in the chart's history to do so. She finished that film, and then she had a starring role in The Queen of the Damned, which was released after she passed away, unfortunately. I guess fortunately and unfortunately, because we got to see her acting. I've been wanting to see Queen of the Damned, especially. Yeah, and in July 2001, she released her, I guess it's eponymous, basically when you name your album after you, basically. Third album, which topped the Billboard 200. It had the singles "Rock the Boat," "More Than a Woman," "We Need a Resolution," featuring Timbaland. On August 25th, 2001, at the age of 22, she was killed in an airplane accident in the Bahamas, along with 8 other people on board. When the overloaded aircraft she was traveling in, crashed shortly after takeoff, and unfortunately, the pilot had drugs in his system, alcohol and cocaine. So he was not qualified to even fly that specific plane. When I was looking more into the case, I don't think he was certified to fly, maybe at all, because I get, they have like different ones. They have like Boeing, they have small aircraft, they have like all these different aircrafts, but he wasn't even certified, which I think when I looked into it, I don't think he was certified at all, like to fly a plane like at all, which is very sad. Her family filed a wrongful death suit with the aircraft's operator, so I'm guessing the people who own the airplanes, settled out of court. In the decades following her death, Aaliyah's music has continued to achieve commercial success, aided by several posthumous releases, which, how I feel about that. That's kind of like, eh. Well, some of the releases have been like recordings that were fully recorded, mind you, that were left off of some of her older albums. So those I'm okay with. If it's like those are the ones that she recorded, I don't have a problem with that. She has sold 8.1 million albums in the U.S. and estimated 24 to 32 million records worldwide. Billboard lists her as the 10th most successful female R&B artist at the past 25 years and the 27th most successful in history. Her accolades include 3 American Music Awards, 2 MTV VMAs, along with 5 Grammy Award nominations. So that's a little bit about her. Of course, there's like a lot more, and yeah, but that's just a little tidbit, So now we're just gonna get into Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. That was her debut album. She was 15, 1-5, at the time that this came out. And I'm just gonna start by saying she was incredibly talented, especially to come out that young. And I've seen clips of her when she was like a littler, because she was still technically a child, littler girl, like when she first came out at 10 to 12. Yeah, she was blowing down, The album was released May 24th, 1994. I would have been 3. So she was 12 years older than me, give or take, because I was born in October. October 91. Yeah. So the genre is R&B, New Jack Swing, and pop. Where can you stream this? Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Deezer. I don't know how to say it, y'all. And Pandora. But if you have no idea, if you never listened to this album in your life, it is entirely, besides one song, because she covered the Isley Brothers song, everything was written and produced. Even that Isley Brother cover was still produced by R. Kelly. So if you don't want to support him, which I don't know if we all know, but he basically got convicted of sexual violent crimes, and he's in prison right now. If you don't want to support him by streaming on any of these sites, you can also watch them on YouTube. You can listen to the album on YouTube on other accounts outside of like Aaliyah's official account, because I think if you watch it on the official account, it counts towards streaming. It counts toward, I guess, it will still give him money. So, but you can have it, but you can find it outside of the official account. And then I have the CD, which I technically stole, but I'm just gonna say I borrowed it and just never give it back. LOL. So my mom, like when I was a child, would be like, "Oh, if you want a CD, just go ahead and take it." I took full advantage of that. I took a lot, so technically I had permission. So I have the CD already. I didn't technically buy it. My mom bought it. But yeah, if you want to bypass all that, they do have the full album on other accounts. So the vibes I get are smooth, cool, 90s R&B and hip-hop classic sound. I was going to put like stereotypically 90s music sound, but I don't know if that would have made sense. But basically that's kind of like, it's very, if you listen to it, it's very 90s. I don't know how to describe it outside of that. Smooth, cool, stereotypical 90s R&B and hip-hop, like very within the time. So I'm going to talk about my favorite songs and my least favorite songs, and then we're going to get my overall opinion. My first favorite song is Back and Forth featuring R. Kelly. Hey, I don't like that, man, but the song is a certified bop. I can't say it's not. Definitely showed off Aaliyah's singing ability and her charisma. Definitely a song you could do like a little two-step, you know what I mean? I like it. We'll not stream it on the official, well, I have the album, so I don't have to worry about that, but yeah. Now, I've already talked about this cover, but At Your Best, You Are Loved. You Are Loved. Yeah, one of the most beautiful covers ever. No exaggeration. She sounds heavenly. Now, I feel like I said this, but it kind of applies more to some other songs. But I feel like it is the subject matter was too mature for her because, she's 15. But she sounds incredible. Like, how beautiful she sounds on the song. It's a classic cover even now. Shows how talented she was from an early age. Like, it's really great. And it's really crazy that, not saying teenagers can't be talented, because we know that we've seen a lot of teenage pop stars and R&B stars like Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah. All these people are very talented, but it's like so incredible. You know what I mean? To be that young and to be that talented. Woo! Anyway, now we're going to talk about another song I liked. It was So Into You. I love the beat for the song. Of course, it's not that teenagers don't have these thoughts, because like she's saying, she's so into him. But I don't know. I don't like the fact that it's a grown man writing it. Then I would feel differently about the lyrics. I would also feel differently if this same grown man did not illegally marry her. And the reason for him illegally marrying her was they had a pregnancy scare. So, if the circumstances were different, I would give this more credit. You know what I mean? I'm sure Aaliyah could have definitely identified with the lyrics, though, and so we will never know her true thoughts, unfortunately. She never really wanted to talk about her time with R. Kelly, even with Dame Dash, who was her fiance. Yeah, he was her fiance when she passed away. And she just told him that he was a very bad man. R. Kelly was a very bad man. So he didn't even know all of the background. So unfortunately now she's passed away. We can't know. My last favorite song is Young Nation. It's a very smooth song. Aaliyah sounds great per usual. And it sounds like it was definitely like trying to identify with kids like at her age at the time. The teenagers, you're the young nation. The beat is nice too. And it's so funny to me. Like, I guess not really haha funny. But R. Kelly wrote this talking about reminiscing about old times. And she was 15. So he wrote this line saying reminiscing about old times. What old times is she reminiscing about? She's like in middle school. Elementary school? LOL? I guess. But you could definitely tell. I think it was mainly more supposed to be from his perspective. Because he's talking about the Isley brothers and like what. Now I know she was born in the 70s. So she might have liked the Isley brothers. I don't know. Because she does have I want to say she has another Isley Brothers cover on her second album. So she could have been a fan, but it seemed kind of out of place when I listened to it the first time I listened, or this isn't the first time I listened to the album, but re-listening to it. My least favorite songs, the title song, "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number." Aaliyah was 14 when R. Kelly wrote this for her. Shaking my head, and I hate that this is from a child's perspective. It makes her seem like the seductress, because he was 27, she was 14. Okay. And it's just so gross to me knowing all the terrible things he's done and how he secretly married her too. And God only knows what he did to her. And apparently, I already talked about they only got married because they had a pregnancy scare, which is, he was 27. She was 15 when they got married. Whew, my goodness. No One Knows How to Love Me Quite Like You Do. Just the title. And I feel like it was a way for him. At first I said for them to express their love, but she's a child. She can't really consent to this relationship. So it's a way for him to express his love for her. It's just so obvious. He uses the album as like a declaration for his love for Aaliyah, and literally felt like they were made for each other, and no one would love her like he did. Yuck. I put this green emoji that's looking like it's throwing up. Well, he's not throwing up yet, but he's the green one that looks like he's sick. And then he says, and he's in the song, I think. Yeah, he is. And he's like, "Leah, you're the only one for me." So he's saying on the song, "You're the only one that I want." A child. Okay. I'm down. So this is the chorus. "I'm down with the way that you want me to be, and I will do anything for you, baby." Yeah, that's it. That's absolutely crazy. Writing a song about her submitting to him as a child. They should have locked him up after this album came out, honestly. But seriously, I'm glad he's behind bars, because what is this? What is all this? So, let's talk about it. My overall opinion. I understand a lot of teen artists probably have adults writing for them, but this is absolutely insane, given all of the context. I'm trying not to be too biased, because Aaliyah, at the end of the day, was the victim. This reminds me of when Usher came out and was singing about the same stuff, but for him, people weren't feeling it. And it reminds me of how black girls are always adultified before they're actually adults. Which a lot of black kids, both black boys and girls, are also adultified, especially by police officers, and then, their families, like all of these things. It's really sad. I will say, Aaliyah sounds amazing, of course. She really put her emotions and her charisma in the songs. Some of the songs were meh to me, even not counting the background info gets them. So I'm going to give this album a 4 out of 10. Only because Aaliyah does make the songs her own. I contemplated giving it a higher rating. I would give it a 6 out of 10 for Aaliyah and her singing abilities, but some of the songs were meh, and then including the background information as well. So let's go into One in a Million. She was still a minor. She was 17 when this came out. It was released August 13, 1996. The genre is R&B, pop, hip-hop. You can stream it the same places as I said before. And I once again had the CD. The vibes I got were smooth, fun, romantic. Those are the vibes I got. Hot Like a Fire is my first favorite track. Very great opening track. Lee sounds great per usual. The lyrics are less grown than the last album, because a lot of them were very sexual, y'all. Talking about being turned on and stuff. I was like, ugh. Even more responsible in a way. Although she was still a minor when the album came out, 17. Outside of that, I also love the beat as well. Very Timberland coded, since he did produce the song. LOL. So it definitely sounds like something he would produce. And I like that song. Of course, it's on my favorites list. One in a Million, of course, the title track. A classic Aaliyah and Timberland bop. Try not to put too many singles on my favorites list, but I had to include the title track. Perfect, no flaws, gives what need to be gave. That's it. 10 out of 10. Another 10 out of 10, If Your Girl Only Knew. I feel like I'm naming a lot of early songs as my favorites, but I didn't make the track list, lol. But some of these were like in the beginning. I always loved the song, from the subject to the beat. A very different subject matter for an R&B song back then. Even now, R&B groups and singers would be okay with being the other woman, but not my girl. Which on the next album, unfortunately, it's gonna be different. But we'll get to that. Also, Timberland plays foot into the beat. I love the claps on top of the beat and like the breaks it has. I really love that. My last favorite is 4 Page Letter. Very cute love song. I feel like it's so old school now because we send texts, tweets, DMs. I would love somebody to write me a letter now. Yeah. Feels like so nostalgic about this song, the idea of writing a letter. Because I used to love writing notes and you know how you fold them real like intricately and stuff. Like, that's really cool. We gotta go back to that. It's so romantic and like heartfelt. Especially 4 pages. Girl, she was really writing it. She was putting all her feelings in there. My least favorite song, A Girl Like You featuring Tretch. It is only my least favorite song because Tretch, because Mans is annoying, lol. Nigga is yelling on the track, and Aaliyah sounds angelic. She sounds really good, but I'm like, oh my god, Tretch is like yelling on his feature. They needed a quieter feature artist, lol. I was reading about this, and apparently this is like the first like duet between the R&B and the hip hop artist where it was like them going back and forth, because they did have like, he would have a verse, she would have the chorus or another verse, instead of it being like him just having a 16 bar, which I'm like, that's cool, but he is yelling on the track. They couldn't get nobody else. I know he was popular then, but I don't know, man. Overall opinion, here we go. I feel like a lot of these songs were like more romantic than sexual, like the last album. And I enjoyed them more, especially like I mentioned, she was still a minor. I know she mentions being grown in some songs, but I think unfortunately she kind of did just have to grow up fast because she's still in the industry, so. And it does seem like she was trying to reclaim her innocence some too as well, with like, you know, with working with I think Missy Elliott wrote a lot of the songs. But, you know, working with Missy and what she wanted to talk about. Or I guess sing about, technically. I really enjoyed this album a lot. I think her working with Missy Elliott and Timberland was a great choice. The album was very well produced and written. Even other producers other than those two, they got help on the album from Darkchild and Jermaine Dupri. You know, Darkchild's legendary. So I love the sound of this album. It was very cohesive. I will say it was long. Depending on which version you have, it could be 17 to 18 tracks. So it did drag a little bit at the end and blend together. So you could cut some songs out and keep it more interesting. So I gave this album an 8 out of 10. That was really good. So Aaliyah, her last album she released before her passing, was released July 7, 2001. It's R&B, neo, soul, pop, dance pop, hip-hop. Stream it the same as above. I don't have this album actually. I would like to get it. So the vibes I got were like love, betrayal, and like relationships in general, kind of like from when they're good, like like relationship evolution. You know, starting out good and then sometimes they end bad. So that's what I got the vibes out of it. My favorite songs were, of course, I'm gonna name a single. But I love this song. We Need a Resolution. It's a classic bop. It sounds nostalgic and futuristic at the same time. I feel like if it came out today, it would still fit right in. The lyrics to the beat, it's a great song. I guess I should say from the lyrics to the beat, it's a great song. Perfect. Mwah. No flaws. Also, this video is one of my favorite videos by her. I just love it. And that video I recommend y'all watching, they do talk about the wardrobe from that video, so that's really cool. It's Whatever. She sounds angelic, and I love the piano beat. The song sounds light and airy with her vocals to match. It's a very sweet, I might say and true love song, of a typo. But basically saying like it's whatever, you know, we want to do in our relationship, we can do it. It's really great. I Can Be. This is what I'm talking about when I said if your girl only knew she went the opposite way of this album. Yeah. It reminds me of The Weeknd by SZA. LOL. It's like the original The Weeknd. Another woman anthem. A different beat. It was a different beat than like the other songs, and it was nice to switch it up. I love the guitar beat. Very surprised this song because Aaliyah was not trying to be the other woman the last album. She was like, if you're a girl, only knew. Now she's like, actually, I can be the other woman. Girl, you done switched it up. That's just so funny to me. Those Were the Days is another favorite. Another good beat change up, and Aaliyah changes the way she sings on this track. It catches you immediately and captures your attention. A unique breakup song, and you're reminiscing about all the good times you had before. So I included 5 this time because this song surprised me. It's called What If. Another cool guitar beat. Also, another singing style which she changed up, which was interesting. However, Aaliyah was singing about pouring hot grits, cutting, and killing niggas. And talking about and saying, we're not going to take your cheating no more. LOL. I mean, hey, do what you gotta do. My girl was fed up. That was just so funny. I ain't never heard Aaliyah sing like that. I had to talk about this track. Aaliyah was mad. LOL. But it's such an interesting track. Basically, What If is like the guy's flirting with other girls, but he doesn't want her to flirt with guys or have guys approach her. So just like, well, what if, I did all these things? And then she's like, and then he cheats, and she's like, well, listen, we got the hot grits. We cutting you up. We gonna kill you. I was like, whoa. My girl was upset. My least favorite songs, I'm gonna put 3, and they have all the same reasons, so I put them together. Extra Smooth, Read Between the Lines, and You Got Nerve. Very similar beats and subject matters. Players, cheaters, abuse. Not saying you shouldn't talk about abuse, but it's kind of all very the same. But they were not talked about in unique ways. They kind of sounded like the same song. The writing was weird on these songs and not as strong as the songs at the beginning. Yeah, so my overall opinion. I would say this album started off strong and ended strong, but it was weak in the middle. The song started to sound the same, and like the beats, and then the same with the lyrics. I thought this would be the highest rated out of the 3 albums, but it would go in the middle. I think the last album had a lot that could have been cut out to keep the more unique songs I think this last album, that's what I mean. A lot could have been cut out to keep more unique songs that were at the end, and cut some of the middle songs that were kind of like just sounding the same. And then he picked everything back up again, though. I would give this album, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I would say maybe 6.5 to 7. I'm not sure if I want to put it as high as 1 in a million. I'm going to give it 6.5. Because it was almost there. Like, it was almost really good to me. Just because it did end strong. So, I've been ranting for the last, 2 or 3 videos. I think it was only the last 2 videos. So, I decided to write some poetry again. So, I wrote Tetractys poems. I'm going to put this in the description. Basically, it's a poem form that has 5 lines. And the first line has 1 syllable. And the second line has 2, 3, 4. And then the last line has 10 syllables. So, it's a total of 20. And you can also do this in reverse. The last one I did in reverse. So, it went from 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, I did it 3 of them based on all of my favorite songs from each album. So, the first one's called Catch the Real Him If You Can. Because I was going to call it Houdini. Because, you can't catch who this person really is. But I also like the title, Catch the Real Him If You Can. It's inspired by At Your Best, You Are Loved by Aaliyah. I can see that you hide who you truly are from everyone who loves you the most. That's it. And then the next poem is called Smooches. Inspired by Hot Like Fire, performed by Aaliyah. So here it is. Let me start over. We don't have to rush to be together. We can just kiss and kiss and kiss and kiss. That's inspired by the chorus, because she's basically talking about they don't have to rush being together, sexually. So they can just kiss and kiss and kiss and kiss. It's so cute. I just loved it. So I had to write a poem based off this one. The last poem is inspired by that song, What If? Because I had to do something for that one. The poem is called Dead to Me. This one I did reverse, so I did 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're green with envy now that the tables have turned, and I'm doing me and Living Free. Oh yeah, those are my poems and those are my thoughts on Aaliyah's discography. What is your favorite? What is your favorite Aaliyah album? Some of the songs that I've heard I thought were on these albums, but I guess they were like extra songs, so they put them on like I Care For You or other compilations. Because I was surprised. I was like, where is this song? Where is that song? And it's because it's not on any of these albums. Or they're like extra from other, like from One in a Million or extra from Aaliyah, the self-titled album. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Aaliyah? What do you think about her life? She's still very influential. Of course, wish she could be here to see her influence and do more things. But yeah, I will see you all next week.